Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 9 de The Forgotten City. Agora que sabemos do mesquinho intento de Sêncio de viver eternamente o mesmo dia, no luxo e na ostentação, exercitando o poder, e que eliminá-lo resolveria só o nosso problema, mas condenando toda a cidade, temos que insistir no projeto de eleger Galério, projeto atualmente preso no impasse de conseguir vinho para Cláudia, a mulher de Maléolo. Como sempre, vamos examinar nossos objetivos como estão atualmente. Ponto de origem, criar um paradoxo temporal. Já sabemos como criar um deles, mas que destruiria a cidade. Temos que tentar algum dos outros que seja possível. Uma tarefa hercúlea, conseguir as 4 placas roubadas do templo. Falta só a placa grega, que depende da libertação do Dule. Intervenção divina, pedir aos deuses que ajudem a escapar do lugar, tem que conversar com a Equitia. Um homem virtuoso, convencer Galério a se apresentar à eleição de magistrado e fazer que ganhe, que é o objetivo da democracia em ação. Então tem que fazer o Maléolo desistir da eleição para o Galério se candidatar e ser eleito. E a placa grega, que depende da libertação do Dule. Nosso inventário tem 12.203 denários, uma lanterna, tirolesa, 3 chaves do cofre do Santuário de Apolo, uma chave do cofre da Aurélia, a carta de Sêncio a Dule, a resina de Sílfio, 2 notas de tratamento de Nívia, corteza de Salce, o arco dourado, informação sobre recompensa, 40 flechas emplumadas, a chave da porta do palácio, a chave do santuário secreto, a chave da vila de Maléolo, o registro de cidadãos, a chave das catacumbas, os ovos dourados da Gansa. Que, na verdade, quem nos falou que desejava ovos dourados e que acreditava nessa história da pata dos ovos de ouro foi o gladiador. Então, a gente precisaria desses ovos para suborná-lo, para ter reunião com Maléolo.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
Sou Biribá e necessito que te ocupes de certos assuntos com urgência.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Salvar a Júlia com o remédio.
Yulia? Oh no. All right, I can do that.
Levar o remédio pro Rufo.
Poor Virgil. Poor Rufius too, I guess. All right, got it.
Evitar que Fábia entre no santuário vazio e fazer que o assassino entre lá.
All right, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
Evitar que o Úlpio se suicide. Dizer que a Júlia está bem e entregar a bolsa para ele pagar as dívidas.
But how did you... All right, of course. I'll make sure this gets to him.
Isso, agora vá o mais rápido que puder.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Vamos lá na Aurélia ver se a gente consegue o vinho.
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
Obrigado. Tenho a sorte de ter recebido uma educação excelente e muito cara. Agora a linha de diálogo vai ser de impressioná-la pela riqueza.
Well, since you bring that up, let's cut to the chase. What are you worth?
Qual é meu preço? Tenho um arco dourado de valor incalculável. Tenho centenas de denários. Tenho mais de 10.000 denários. Não é assunto seu. Essa é a pergunta mais desagradável que me fizeram até hoje. Eu levo mais de 10.000 denários.
10,000? And you're just carrying that around? Oh my, aren't you impressive? But enough about that. I want to know all about you. Tell me, who are you hoping will win today's election? Sentius or Malleolus?
Sêncio, Maléolo, Galério ou me importa um pimentão? Eu vou enganar que é o Maléolo.
Good answer. Though it's no secret that I'm a Malleolus supporter. So, tell me, what do you like about him?
O que você gosta nele? Não suporto o Sêncio, é o menor dos males. Creio que os fortes devem prevalecer sobre os débeis. Se Sêncio não pode proteger a sua própria filha, como vamos confiar que nos protegerá a nós? Creio que ele estará mais disposto que Sêncio a aceitar tributos. Essa última, né? Se eu estou enganando que prefiro ele, eu vou dizer que ele é mais adepto de presentinhos.
Honey, I'm beginning to think Venus herself sent you to me, because I love the way you think. Here's an idea. How about we head to the baths with some wine I've been saving and see where it leads?
Boa ideia. Me parece bem. Deixe que eu pegue o vinho das suas mãos.
Oh, I see you know how to treat a lady. Here you go.
Garrafa de vinho, possivelmente a última da cidade. Obrigado. Creio que vou...
What? What are you talking about?
Só queria o teu vinho. Ou te timei, te enganei.
No, no. You give that back. Give it back or you'll break the golden rule.
Não, você que quis dar. Tanto faz.
Think you're clever, do you? Well, you're nothing but a fornicaria. I was just gonna use you for your money.
Bebe cicuta, víbora. Mas o outro de comprar o voto, que era o mais desonesto de todos, nem deu abertura para ele.
I'm not supposed to be in here.
Nós, mulheres, devemos nos unir. Podemos falar?
Talk. What business could you possibly have with me?
Te apetece um pouco deste vinho? Não, mas isso acho que eu tenho que dizer depois, né? O que você faz aqui nessa habitação?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
Agora não tem mais a opção de se vingar do marido.
You barge into my villa and offer me wine? I'd have you thrown out, but it just so happens that is exactly what I need. The question is, what do you want for it?
Esperava que pudéssemos desmascarar a identidade de Maléolo, juntas.
Ah, it seems Bacchus smiles on me once again, and I believe I have just the thing you're looking for. Some time ago he wrote me a letter and signed it Quinctius, apparently by accident. I've kept it ever since, hoping one day I'd find out what it meant. I'll happily show it to you. For that wine.
Trato feito. Aqui tem o vinho.
Thank you. Here's the letter.
Muito obrigadinho, dona moça. Apareça sempre. De Quintio a sua amada Cláudia. Passei um tempo desesperado pensando que estava aqui preso até o fim de meus dias. Mas então te conheci e descobri que sempre e quando esteja contigo, estou onde deveria estar. Não consigo expressar com palavras o afeto que sinto por ti, e por isso realizo esse gesto em tua honra. Me converterei em magistrado da cidade, para assim governar com sabedoria e força contigo ao meu lado. Carta de Quintio resume uma carta de amor na que Maléolo admite de forma acidental que seu nome é Quintio.
Now, perhaps you can tell me who Quinctius really is.
Talvez eu possa contar. Segundo essa carta de recompensa do imperador Nero, é ele quem provocou os incêndios de Roma no ano passado.
What? He's... Oh no. That's... quite a lot more serious than I imagined. I only wanted some leverage over him, not to destroy him. Give me that immediately. Nobody else must know.
Não, creio que fico com ela. Claro, pode ficar com essa, eu posso conseguir outra cópia. Claro, pode ficar com ela, ninguém mais o saberá. Não, creio que ela ficará comigo.
What? No. You tricked me, you mendacious little stirkers.
Não enganei nada. Não menti.
It was a lie of a mission. You were planning this all along and you deliberately concealed it. May Jupiter cut you down.
Tenho que ir-me.
I curse you. I curse your life and mind and memory. May you be unable to walk or eat or drink. May this drag you to the depths. This is outrageous.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
Quero que você se retire das eleições.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Porque eu tenho o documento. Porque eu sei que você é Quintio. Tua mulher me deu a tua carta de amor e Nero quer ver-te morto.
So, it finally caught up with me. I suppose that makes you, what, one of Nero's assassins?
Não sou, pra sorte sua.
So, you're not going to kill me?
Não vou te matar se você se retira das eleições de imediato e perdoa as dívidas de quem está atado a elas.
Oh, so much work and money. Oh, well, if I do it, you'd let me live?
Sim.
Fine. Ruling this cesspit of a city would have been beneath me anyway. I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal and release those two from debt bondage. There, you got what you wanted. Now, please, leave my villa and never speak to me again.
Resolveu
Domitius,
democracia em
are you
ação.
listening?
Yes, sir.
I've made a decision to release Julia and Ulpius and withdraw from the election. I want you to go and inform Equitia.
Sir? Are you under duress, sir?
I've just had a change of heart.
But you were on track to be magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money, wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir. Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know.
Já contou que as dívidas estão perdoadas e que ele se retira das eleições.
Citizens,
On your
I
best
have an
behaviour, I trust.
announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default. That is all.
All weapons are to be tossed into the chasm. Magistrate's orders.
O outro ex-prisioneiro tá
Don't
aqui.
believe a word that... Shalom, friend.
Qual é a tua história?
You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberim, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them. I can only assume they got the better of me because the next thing I knew, I was waking up in a forest, by a river not far from here, with no memory of how I got there. It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. Why would a robber knock me unconscious and throw me in a river, but not take my coins?
Muito bem, da tua parte arriscar a vida para ajudar os demais.
A lot of good it did me. And that family. I sometimes wonder what happened to them.
Sabe como sair daqui?
I don't. But even if I did, I'm not going anywhere. I have unfinished business.
O que você opina das regras de ouro?
Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about theology, law, and collective punishment, so I guess you're looking for a pithy summary? You remind me of an old story from my people about Hillel the Elder. He was approached by a Gentile and asked to explain the entire Torah while he stood on one foot. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn." Of course, what I want to know is, what kind of a god sees a young woman abducted and does nothing about it? Not my god. That's for sure.
Boa pergunta.
Thanks. I just wish there was a way to find out.
Eu estou averiguando, aliás já descobri que essa Encília está viva. Em quem você vai votar?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
Me parece bem. Tenho que ir-me.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
A gente morre antes de
The 49
assaltar o
melodies fetch
forte.
again.
Sturkus!
Ixion turns.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm
Ou
listening.
será que acrescentou agora? Não, não acrescentou a opção.
Yulia? Oh,
Júlia,
no. All right, I can do that.
Rúfio... acrescentou.
Poor Virgil. Poor Rufius too, I guess. All right, got it.
Fábia e o assassino.
All right, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
Diga a Maléolo que sabe o seu nome real, que é Quintio, graças a Cláudia, e que Nero lhe manda saudações. Depois pede que se retire das eleições e que libere os seus escravos.
What? Are you... You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message.
Isso, agora vá lá o mais rápido que possa.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Um homem virtuoso é o meu objetivo, com o Galério.
Ixion turns.
Tem que encontrá-lo na cidade depois para que ele se candidate. Se ele não desaparecer de novo, né?
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Nada, por aqui não está acontecendo nada. Ah, ele tá ajudando todo mundo correndo.
Lucretia, no time to explain. I'm supposed to give you this Sylphium resin for Yulia.
What? Quick, give it here. I'm just going to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing. How did you know?
I was just doing what the new lady told me.
I don't understand. How did... Never mind. Thank you so much for acting as quickly as you did. I never knew you.
Can't stay. Places to be.
Ah, o assassino já caiu lá, na armadilha. E cadê o Galério agora?
Business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment? Really? Ah, thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Iulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this dolt, are you?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded.
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
Citizen.
Good news, Ulpius. Malleolus has agreed to release you and Yulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free. We're free. Thank you. It seems fortune smiles on us after all. I'd better go and pay a visit to Yulia immediately.
Citizen.
E agora, você vai se candidatar?
Yulia, I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying. And now Malleolus is going to... Wait.
A golden
Why
bow,
do you look so happy?
just like Apollo
We're
and
free.
Diana's.
Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
Galerius arranged it somehow.
Really? That's... incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Galério parece que não tem tempo. Terei que falar com ele mais tarde.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Agora ele tá contando pro Domício.
Magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir.
Vou avisar a Equitia. É isso, né? Equitia que estrategicamente estava saindo nesse momento.
Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising, but thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know. Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius, that's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
Agora não posso. Revivo o mesmo dia uma e uma outra vez.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Bellides had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Ah, sim, ao menos está isso. Isso é mentira, né? Porque eu acho que eu estou no inferno. Continue.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you, and you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in. Oh, and I'm in the running for magistrate. Feeling kinda nervous, but I'm hoping it'll all be worth it when I order Dooley's release. I just hope I'll have the votes I need.
Tenho a sensação de que isso fará genial. Ainda que não ganhes, as próximas eleições chegarão antes que você se dê conta. Ainda que você não ganhe, amanhã tem chance de novo. Amanhã não, hoje mesmo, no mesmo dia, recomeçar. Tenho a sensação de que fará muito bem, genial, estupendamente.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Não vai para a eleição, Equite? Ah, eu tenho que falar com ela.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Como vão as eleições?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Galerius, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Por que pergunta? Quem pode votar?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
As mulheres não podem votar?
Don't believe a
That's
word
just
they
the way
tell
it's
you.
always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Como que pode influenciar de outra forma?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Qual é o seu papel nas eleições?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Podemos começar as eleições?
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Eu só queria acabar com isso. Fazer logo pode evitar conflitos entre os votantes. Dá na mesma. Será que eu tenho que conversar com o pessoal? Não, né? Todo mundo que o Galério ajudou sabe que foi ele que ajudou, pensa que foi ele que ajudou, vai votar nele. Não preciso falar com mais ninguém, né? Fazer as eleições logo pode evitar conflitos entre os votantes.
Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things started right away. Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
Deixa eu ir na frente para pegar o melhor lugar. Começa, que demora é essa? Como o outro candidato não se apresentou, Galério está eleito. Por WO. Ah, não, lá vem.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Sentius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
E o censo até que aceitou bem o resultado. Vamos lá para a cela pegar as coisas do Dooley, então. A placa grega e a chave do encanamento superior. Do aqueduto superior.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Vai me entregar a chave agora?
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer?
Sim, eu sou. Já nos vimos antes, Dooley.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember things so good. But thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy. You can have my shiny plaque if you want, and maybe you can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then he died. But before that, he told me if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious.
E o que era?
He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. He said there's something very precious way up high. Please help me find it. Please. I had to keep it a secret until I found someone I could trust.
Vale, ajudarei.
Oh, thank you. Here's the key.
O aqueduto superior está debaixo do grande templo. A entrada deve andar por aqui.
I hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high, Hannibal said. Oh, look over there. Something shining. Is it treasure? Maybe it is treasure. I could see it for myself. So pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open. Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just take it.
Don't you dare.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ah não, o Dully quebrou a regra roubando um espelho. E o Censo vai abrir o portal agora? Ou ele tá com raiva? Ah é, e eu esqueci de pegar a placa. É aqui uma porta. Era aqui o tesouro?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
E agora vai ter que repetir toda aquela...
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Vamos falar do seu tesouro.
Did you find anything in the cisterns?
Eu sim.
What was in there? Was it gold and pearls and shiny things? Do you think you could share some with me?
Não, mas eu descobri coisas muito importantes aqui e creio que nos poderiam ajudar ainda mais.
I'm confused. Hannibal said it was a precious secret. It's not a treasure.
Sei que tem valor, só que de uma forma distinta da que pensávamos.
Oh, all right. I trust you. Bye-bye.
Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ulpius, no!
Tudo porque eu mandei aquele incompetente do Galério vir salvar o cara e ele não veio. Mas eu vou entrar aqui e acabar o jogo com o Ulpio morto? Diga seu nome. Plutão, pai das riquezas, conceda-me uma audiência. Mas agora o Ulpio terá morrido, claro, pois o incompetente não salvou. Eu mandei ele salvar. Hades, senhor de muitos, conceda-me uma audiência. E acho que tem que fazer conforme a estrutura aqui. Aqui é egípcio. Zarzur. Ah, é Osíris do Egito. Nergal é dos sumérios, né? Vai vir agora. E aqui, senhor das naves espaciais.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly that there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
Qual é a tua história?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
Você é deus?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Por que pareces homem e fala como homem?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
Me deixas ver a tua forma real?
No. Long ago I swore to Proserpina that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Quem é a mulher à tua esquerda?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
Quem se encontra à tua direita?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Vamos falar de outra coisa.
As you wish.
O que é este lugar?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
Qual foi a aposta que você fez?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
É ela que ficava sussurrando, então, falando besteira no meu ouvido. Quem é a tua gente?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Persephone.
Quem construiu a cidade?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
Como decidiu quem viria aqui?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persephone's along with it.
Como se interaram os humanos da existência do inframundo?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Vamos falar de outra coisa.
Of course.
Você é o responsável pela regra de ouro?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Por que converter gente em ouro?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
Então você é o responsável por destroçar todas essas vidas?
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
De onde saíram esses arcos dourados?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
O que você considera pecado?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Esse princípio não é tão fácil de aplicar como parece. Ou parece que você tampouco defendeu muito. Eu sempre vivi dessa maneira. Mentira. Esse princípio não é tão fácil de aplicar como parece.
For you, perhaps.
Como se sabe quando alguém está pecando?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
Proserpina está conectada com as estátuas da mesma forma? Sim, pois ela estava me ajudando, né? Mas eu não posso contar isso para ele.
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
Por nada.
Then what an odd question.
Eu vi coisas terríveis que você não considerou pecado. Por que você deixou que ocorresse? Essa é a pergunta que não é para fazer para não estragar o final do jogo. Vamos falar de outra coisa.
Very well.
Essas eram todas as perguntas que eu tinha.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong.
Então é isso. Hoje vamos ficando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida. Desejo boa noite. Até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.